Alright, we made it to part 3. Let me get situated here, get my goggles on, and my gloves. Alright. So let's go ahead and pour this off and see what we're working with down here. I don't think I need those right now. There we go. Nice and slow. I don't think you guys know how excited I would be if this is all gold. Well, I imagine you'd get the concept. I don't know, it's pretty heavy. Alright, here is the time. Oh. Whoa, that's nasty. Alright, so imagine this is going to take quite a while to settle, because whatever it is pretty thin. So we're going to add a little bit of distilled water. And we're going to do some boiling. See if we can uncover the mystery behind the metal. Alright, looks like that heat helped that settle. It's not quite to a boil yet. And that's okay. Yeah, if that's gold, that is really thin gold. So what we're going to do is we're just going to let this settle here. Like so. Let that cool down just a little bit, and then we'll go ahead and drain that off, and we're going to do one more of those. Alright, so I'm definitely not going to go crazy on cleaning this yet. If it's gold, I will be keeping, well, I will be refining it again. If not, we're gonna know real quick in this next hydrochloric bath. See, and that kind of worries me because I didn't pick up any on the top. None of it got stuck in the surface tension. Usually, especially fine gold like that, you gotta constantly spray it so that it can fall back down and settle. But who knows? Who knows? That's what we're doing right now. We're about to find out. So I imagine if this is gold, we'll know right away, basically, as soon as I put the hydrochloric in. If it goes away, we know it's not gold. After it's cleaned up, though, I may just put it back into solution just to try stannous on it one more time. I don't think I had too much nitric in there because I used sulfamic. I don't know. It's really a head scratcher. Kind of acts like gold, kind of looks like gold, but it didn't test like gold. So I could be wasting my time right now, and I wouldn't be surprised actually. But it's not wasting my time if I learn something from it, right? So it's always you gotta always look at the positives. Always look at the plus side. All right, so this time we actually got it to a boil. Not touching that yet. So we're gonna let that settle and cool off a little bit, because I do not want to be putting that hot into a glass stock pot. No question about that. So it should settle relatively quick. I think actually we can kind of see it happening. It's definitely super fine, whatever it is. So it's gonna be a fun one. But after this cools down, we're gonna see what it is. Little HCl. Maybe we got gold. Alright, well, our solution has cooled down a little bit. Actually, quite a bit. And let's see here. Alright, I'm getting the floaters now. Must have been because it was a hot solution, or hotter. Very gentle with this stuff. I'm gonna have to let that settle again. Well, it's what it's a stock pot for, right? We'll collect it all later. Just makes it more fun to get it when it's got stuff in there. Alright, let's let that settle again and see if we can get the rest of that water off and put in some hydrochloric. Alright, let's see if we can get the rest of this in here without disturbing it too much. Stuff is pretty light, so we're definitely going to lose some. Well, we got the majority of it down there. Alright. This is where it's at right here. Not gonna take much. I don't know. It's got that purple chloride, or that what is that? That gold chloride, where it's super tiny. Kind of looks like that. Maybe we found it. Alright, let's see what we got going on here. think I still see some material at the bottom. So I'm happy with that. Alright, well, I think we're going to let that settle a little bit. We'll dump that out. We'll put a little bit more hydrochloric in there and put some nitric. See if we can't dissolve that and get a better test. All right. I don't know. So the hydrochloric actually looks pretty clear. Hasn't picked up a really yellow color. I think I'm going to go ahead right into dissolving this. I might have to dissolve it again, but I'm hoping that if I precipitate it one more time, it'll be a little heavier, because this stuff, I mean, I breathed wrong on it and it is disturbed and going in the stock pot, which yes, it's going in the stock pot, but still, if it's this big of a pain in the rear to deal in this little amount, you know, by the time I get a bunch in my stock pot, I don't want to have to deal with all that. So we're going to try and do another refining, see if we can get it to stick together a little better. The last paper towel. Have to grab another roll. Alright, nitric. Give her some heat. I bet you we're going to see gold on this one. I don't know why the Stannis went to pick it up before. And we're not going to go with a lot. We're just going to start with like maybe a milliliter. Maybe a milliliter and a half to start with. Oh, got you guys completely out of the picture, my bad. So I just put about a milliliter and a half of nitric in there. And just turn the heat on. You probably saw that part of it. I might have to put a little more hydrochloric in there. I didn't put too much in there, but really only one way to find out, and that's just to see what we can get dissolved in there. Got pretty good bubbles going. Got a good reaction. Sweet. And you can see it starting to actually just dissolve and turn yellow. I'm gonna have to put some nitric on my my dish here one of these days, clean it up. So I mean, with a milliliter and a half, we're already dissolved about half of it. There's not a whole lot in there, No question about that. Plus, who knows how much I sent over into the stock pot. Well, there we go. Well, it looks like gold. Wow, we pretty much watched that real time. Look at that, it's all gone. And he spills it. Look at that. All gone. We'll get it hot, see if we can get everything to come out. You know what? And just for giggles, we're going to go ahead and put some sulfuric in. It all comes out of solution because it's all lead. That'd be hilarious, wouldn't it? There we go. Alright, well, we'll let that sit a while. I'm going to go ahead and clean my flask out so we can get that gold into something nice and clean. We'll give her a filter and, well, hopefully it's gold. I mean, my hopes are kind of up there, but the Stannis has kind of let me down. Well, the Stannis is probably just actually telling me not to get my hopes up, but I'm not the best listener in the world. I try to do my best, but I'm pretty stubborn. You can ask my wife, and she'll gladly tell you that. Alright, scientific straw. And hey, we got color. It's very light, but it's color nonetheless. I'd say that's gold. Sweet, we found it. I don't know why that didn't show up before, but it sure did now. Awesome. Man, I'm glad I didn't give up on that. Sweet. Alright, and we are coming to a boil. It's not a lot of gold, but it's gold nonetheless. We found it. We found it. Alright. I was too busy yapping. I didn't get my flask clean, so I'm gonna pause the video and we're gonna get back to that. Alright, so we're all cleaned up here. Before I filter this, I gotta let this cool down a little bit. But before it cools, not that it's gonna take a long time because of the amount of material we got, I am gonna put a little bit of sulfamic in there. The sulfuric acid was probably way overkill. guys close up. I get a big clump that's going to come in there. I don't think I'm going to let that send because I don't want hot acid going all over the place. So we'll go ahead and put that back and just grab another little scoop. Yeah, I got way more than enough sulfamic in there. Alright, let me go grab an ice cube, see if we can't get any silver chloride to drop out of there. And we'll drop the gold tonight. The little bit we're going to have, and we'll let it settle. And I'll put it back into... I'll try putting it back into a beaker, or not a beaker, a melt dish tomorrow. Melt it up after a couple rinses. See what we come up with. Alright. Well, we've got our solution nice and cool now. And it's still pretty clear, besides all of the sulfamic that I got in there. Let's go ahead and filter that out. Definitely going to need this. Well, I'm going to go clean my beaker out while that vast amount of liquid is filtering, and so we can get a nice clean beaker. Alright, let's see what kind of gold we can get out of here. It's going to be a ton of it, I can tell already. Probably more than enough. Except my solution is cold. So we're not going to get a really cool change. But it's starting to go. Clearing up a little bit. Alright, seemed to absorb all that. A little bit more in there. Alright, that was all absorbed. Nothing yet. Alright, well, we'll let that see what that... We'll let that be for a little while here and see what happens. I know the amount of gold we have in there is not a lot. So I'm not expecting this thing to go black by any means. I would say we found the gold. Well, I'm really glad I didn't give up. It's nice to see that we've got some gold there. It actually looks really nice too. So let's go ahead and drop this out. There's not a whole bunch in there, kind of as we were expecting, but it's gold nonetheless. Settling nicely to the ground. Might have to do this in 2 parts. Actually, I don't know. It's all staying there pretty good. Oop. Starting to get some floaters though. Nice and easy. All right. Let's get that the rest of that transferred over here to a smaller beaker. Something a little easier for us to work with. Excellent. Add a little distilled water there. Just a little bit. Throw that back up on the heat. Give it a couple of rinses. See what we can come up with. So I'll do, I don't know, I'll probably do 2 rinses with distilled water. We'll do another hydrochloric rinse. See if we can't get that to pick up nicely. And then we'll do a couple more rinses, get the hydrochloric off, and we'll go ahead and melt that into a little button. Alright. First boil in distilled water. We'll let that settle. Go ahead and pour it out. Cool down a little bit. And go right into a second one. Alright, we're all settled here. Break that surface tension a little bit. All right. Well, let's do a couple more cleanups on this. Like I said, I don't want another hour-long video, so I'm just going to go ahead and skip past that. We'll do, 3 more rinses. We'll do 1 more distilled. We'll do a hydrochloric, and then we'll do 2 more rinses with distilled water and melt it up. All right, so here we are. After all of them rinses, this is what I ended up with. This little peanut right here. That is not even worth weighing. But there was gold there and I found it. Now, I think at least the other half of this is in my stock pot. Not that it's a lot. I mean, there's my fingernail, right? This is a 0.2 grams. So, yeah. You can see how small that is. Tiny. Smaller than a grain of rice. But, yeah, that's small stuff. What a pain in the rear to work with. But we got it. We pushed forward, and I imagine that's why that didn't show up on a Stannis, because that is extremely small. This is a 6-gram piece. I forgot what this one weighs. And this is 0.2. Maybe 13. So we're getting there. Look at that thing. I didn't even take the borax off. That's what the black is and why it's not so shiny. Needs a sulfuric acid bath. Clean it up. But I think I'm just gonna melt all of them together here soon. Just so I don't lose these two. And yeah, we'll just let that grow. But I'm going to say that concludes the copper cell slimes. You know, I got, like I said, I got all my gold here in the stock pot. Well, I could say at least half of it went in there. And still at that, you know, we probably don't even have 0.2 grams out of there. It took forever just to collect this little bit in the melt dish, you know, because it kept blowing like around and just was a pain in the rear. What I should have done was maybe gotten a before and after on one of these so that I could, you know, turn this, you know, molten and then kind of roll it around in the melt dish to collect the little bits, because I imagine there's a little bit in the melt dish yet, a little bit in the well, I know there's a lot of it in the stock pot, but yeah, that small gold stuff is not fun to deal with. There's no question about that. I like those pour lines on there. You can see them in the stamp there. Oh, sweet. I'm gonna say that wraps up this this series. On to the next. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.